Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what if there's something you haven't learned yet that could change everything? Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission are three of the amazing featured authors in one of our newest books. This one is called Expressive Arts, the ultimate creative guide to transforming stress. I am excited about this book. Before I introduce you to the authors, I want to say a huge thank you to our lead author, Jean Voice Dart. Jean, we would not be here without you. You had a big mission and vision for this book, and introducing expressive arts to the world in such an incredibly powerful way. I'm very grateful to be in your world and for the stellar cast of experts you gathered round for this amazing collaboration. So you guys are about to meet some of them. Sarah Jane is the founder of Gift of Healing TV, creator of Vocal Reiki, and author, also an international speaker. Welcome, Sarah Jane. Timothy, the magical mystery fairy tale wizard and poet, is a visionary educator, master of multiple ancient arts and sacred sciences, and author, celebrated for writing over 270 empowering children's stories that ignite brilliance, creativity, and joy. Welcome, Timothy. Gabrielle Kaplan-Mayer is a writer, educator, and spiritual director who helps people find their wisdom through words. Welcome to all three of you. This is going to be a really fun conversation. Sarah Jane, you're going to start the party off. Tell us a little bit of the why behind the chapter that you wrote.
Hi, I'm Sarah Jane, the author of Chapter 10, Bringing Color back into your voice and life. Creativity flows where healing energy goes. And that's the thing, that's the crux of it for me, the healing energy. Tapping into the healing energies within ourselves. Personally, I did this via Reiki, but it supported me with putting the color back into my life, back into my voice. As a people pleaser, I didn't feel I had a voice. And I certainly was afraid to do anything that was creative, anything that was exploratory, anything that would bring fun into my life. And by tapping into the healing energies of Reiki and of sound, and sound is creativity in its own way, it's phenomenal, was so much what supported me to find me and helped me to actually go out and experience life.
You are talking about super powerful modalities. Actually, you've mentioned a couple or a few of them already. I want to kind of rewind to Reiki for a minute, though. When you begin to experience this in your life, of course, people can go on to be Reiki practitioners, masters, teachers, as you are. What was it about the modality? Because there's so many to choose from. Can you give us an example of what happened and why you're like, oh, this is it?
Well, actually, it was how I found it. That was the thing. I sat on the stairs at the top of the stairs in my little house. What can I do for me? It wasn't about anybody else. What can I do to support me? And I hadn't realized I wasn't doing anything like this at the time. And I hadn't realized that I was actually asking the universe. And I went to a holistic fair within a couple of weeks. And there, right inside the door, the very first table, and the lady I got talking to, and she said, "Oh, my Reiki master. And when you learn Reiki, the first person you treat is yourself." And it was just like, this is what I've asked for. And I learned Reiki and I used it for myself. And my belief in myself slowly grew. That being able to let go of the worry of what other people thought about me, that people pleaser, that had started, but it would really help compound that being able to be true to me, say yes to me and no to others.
Okay, I can't help myself, but let's talk about that people pleasing thing for half a second here, because I'm pretty sure everyone in this room and everyone listening has had a piece of this feeling where you get to a point and you're like, man, I can't do this anymore. Like, I got to take care of myself. What's the thing you want people to know about people pleasing specifically?
Okay, my light bulb from being a people pleaser was one of the things I was really worried about was what other people thought about me. And I remember standing in the kitchen one day and thinking, why am I worrying about what other people think about me when they're not? And that was such a wham. And the weight lifted off my shoulders. And it was a permission to stop worrying and to start doing what was right for me.
Yeah, excellent. I hope everyone heard that or rewinds to that and listens to it again. Sarah Jane, thank you for saying yes to this project and being a part of it, sharing today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I've actually said that actual thing to both of my kids. I've said it to myself. You realize nobody's thinking about you. Like all this worry that you're, torturing yourself with. It's like you could just get rid of that right now because we all have ourselves to take care of, and it's not a bad thing that we're thinking about ourselves, but this worry, oh my gosh, we could have a whole show on that topic, you guys. Um, Timothy, let's move on to you. Give us the why behind your chapter.
Oh, chapter 15, mantra momentum mojo. Believe it, fake it, feel it, become it. And the why behind it is because my introduction to mantras was mind-blowing, life-shattering, and changed my entire life. And had I really known the power of mantras when I first found them, I would have dove into and used it a lot more. Um, so I had experiences that made me believe it. And then I faked it. I repeated mantras. I didn't feel a thing. I just faked it. I used them because I knew and saw that they could do something. And I remember driving along the coast highway one Saturday morning after yoga in a convertible with the top down and singing Om Namah Shivaya. And all of a sudden I felt it like in every pore of my body. And from feeling it, it became becoming it. And I want people to know that it is so simple to touch back in and live as your divine God self and thrive in every aspect of your life simply by repeating mantras and clearing your mind out so that you're totally available to follow the universal guidance that you get all along.
Okay, Timothy, talk to me about the moment where like you love them, you repeat them, you're faking it till you make it, and it just isn't happening yet. I haven't had that moment in the convertible, and so I'm starting to kind of move in the other direction of doubt. Oh, why do I don't feel anything yet? Like I believe it's a little bit about surrender, but can you tell me, or and our listeners, like what do you do when you're in a little bit of frustration about it?
There wasn't frustration about not really feeling. I didn't even know what it felt like to feel it. Okay. I mean, at that
Exactly.
point, I
Yeah.
didn't even know what it felt like. So in that time period from the introduction, I just had, again, a lot of mind-blowing experiences and a lot of experiences that kept me going. It's like, and I went to military school. I was a certified public accountant. So you really got to show me things and they got to be concrete. So I had a lot of experiences where, how did that happen? A lot of synchronicities. And it kept me going. That, and my whole life has been like that. I just keep going and things pop into my life when I need them. Sometimes it's through a lot of pain and a lot of torture. And my whole awakening was laying in bed and crying for 3 days and yelling out to God, if you exist, I need to find you.
Mm.
So this chapter is all about my awakening and then how to use mantras to literally get you through and help you be successful in all things, face dangers, relieve the most intense pain you could ever imagine going through your body by nothing but repeating mantras, by using mantras in dream states to confront things that are scary, like lions charging after you or tornadoes coming towards you. Um, we have powers that we don't know we have. So this chapter talks about all dimensions of life, basically, and how you can use mantras to get you through whatever situation you're in and provide clarity and lead you in the right directions. Like it led me to this book. And I told Jean yesterday, I said, I am so thankful for having the opportunity to write this chapter because in the last 6 years, I have forgotten who I am. I mean,
Mm.
I have forgotten that I was empowered by my teachers to activate people's spiritual energy and guide them, and I lost that. So this has reignited me in using that basis to go back out into the world with the other things that I do.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Timothy, thank you for saying yes. And, you're back for, as Sarah Jane is, for another project, bringing your beautiful energy to the community. I thank you both for being back to do that. Um, and, also just thanks for sharing a little bit about your kind of more practical background, because if you listener are hearing this, sometimes you sort of wake up from a very traditional, conditioned left brain jaw, all the thing, right? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're kind of awake to the magic, and your whole life will change in that moment. I get so excited to bring you guys on to talk about those transitions, because anything is possible, really. And then one last little just thought about mantra. There's a vibration to words spoken from your beautiful voice that comes from your heart to your tongue to out loud. And when we take responsibility for the vibration, we are changing the world. Like, this is big potato stuff to me. So I love listening to you guys talk about all this stuff.
It's like, Laura, when you said that, it's like Sarah Jane vocal Reiki, okay?
Yeah.
First time I've heard the term today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Nice.
it's true. Those vibrations not only go out into the world, but our voice is the most healing instrument we have. The sound of our
Yes.
own voice to our own
Yes.
body.
Yes, 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 with the exclamation point. All right, I'm going to move over to Gabrielle. Gabrielle, tell us the why behind your chapter.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Sarah, Jane, and Timothy. I'm feeling so inspired listening to you both. My chapter is called The Right Words, How to Find Your Soul's Voice. And the why behind that is that I find pouring words out onto the page to be one of the primary ways that I connect to the divine. That conversation you were talking about, Timothy, with God and feeling that presence and connection and conversation can all come out through writing. And going back to the left brain, I think many of us in the education system, writing was an essay, something that might come back with the red pen. And so it didn't feel like that pathway to our soul. And when I was a child, I was actually 10 when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which, as you can see, I'm really healthy and vibrant and strong person at age 54. But when you're 10, faced with a chronic illness, it's really devastating. It's really frightening. And there were things I could voice to my parents or concerns to my doctor or even to my little friends, but the page was where I could pour it all. And so that became a practice. And I think honestly, at age 10, that was me becoming a healer, to help myself survive this and to believe in life. And I've seen amazing things when people take the time, take the solitude in our busy lives, and just come to the blank page. And going back to Sarah Jane's talk about people pleasing, oh my gosh, I think everyone in this culture feels that. And on the page, you can pour it all out, the dark stuff, your messy stuff, your imperfections, and just, I think seeing it there takes away a lot of the charge or energy and that pressure to be perfect.
Well, you've got my favorite topic ever, maybe obviously to all you guys, but writing is everything you just said. And I love how you said, at that early age, I was becoming the healer. How cool is that line? Um, I agree. I was a little older, maybe 14, 15, same deal. Like, and how fun it is to think that that was what was happening at that time when I decided to kind of put stuff on the page. Um, a lot of people, there's some resistance to it. Oh, what if somebody reads this? Okay, burn it, whatever, But when you bring the words to the page, you are creating awareness. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think exactly. When I'm working with folks, either through my teaching circles, my writing circles, or one-on-one, I begin with, this is for you. You may never show it to someone else. And for those who have a sense of God, this is between you and the divine. So that's really where where I begin. And once you have that sense, I think it's very freeing, and it can take that fear of it being, for public view away. And that's really to remember that as you begin.
Yeah, I love it. And Gabrielle, you're giving me such a beautiful sort of opportunity to say to you all, this is how we publish around here, because I actually also believe that when somebody moves past the stage of writing to heal and they're starting to get excited about somebody possibly reading and or their life might change because of what I wrote, right? Then the whole entire process becomes therapeutic. The whole entire process from just journaling all the way to publishing and even promoting your work becomes this self-development journey and all of the amazing stages of it. We publish on top of that foundation that this entire journey is a healing and self-development journey. So you're going to get me going on the writing topic for sure today, which I love.
Good.
And everybody here is that we are all writers who allowed our words to pour onto these beautiful pages. To all three of you today, a really big thank you. You took on the challenge I gave you. Get that vulnerable story onto the page. But then the three of you, as the master teachers you are, you're stepping up in the second part of these chapters with a practical tool that the reader can play with right there on the page. And you guys, as we talk about this and what these authors did, I'll just give you a little sneak peek at the cover here. This beautiful cover, Expressive Arts. The authors took that challenge I gave them and did it so brilliantly. I cannot wait to share this amazing collaborative. You're going to have a full toolkit for stress relief here, you guys. So thank you to all three of you. Gabrielle, thank you for being here and for saying yes to this. So I want to get into maybe that tool part a little bit more, give people a taste of what's coming. Timothy, what's the most important thing you want people to know about the mantra momentum mojo? I like saying it. I do.
Because it'll get your mojo on in ways you've never imagined and transform your life in ways you've never imagined. Your true life will unfold before you. For instance, a year ago, right about now, a new form of poetry came through me. And it's using Tesla's 369 code. And Tesla said if you knew the magic if you knew the magnificence of 369, you'd have the keys to the universe. Well, I wrote this chapter in Tesla 369 poetry for the most part. So not only is the experiences that I've had empowering you to, no matter whether you're just beginning or if you've used mantras your entire life, there's empowerments in here, physical activations for you, and even the poetic flow of it is an activation. For instance, I even picked the choice of doing this interview at this time because we had different choices. So I picked 8/1 of this year. 8 and 1 is 9. We're in a 9 year. 18 is 9. This is being recorded at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central European Time where I am, which is a 6-hour time difference, 369. So I even picked the time of this to further empower everybody reading this book, listening to this, because I want everybody to live as their divine self, to become the mantra themselves, the mantra of their own God self.
That's so exciting. And I love it. Be the mantra. Be the mantra. Like, yes. There's such magic in these numbers and such fun to be had discovering this magic, you guys. I've loved so many of your chapters, Timothy, where you took the time and effort to write the entire thing in this magical code. So when you guys are reading these chapters, Timothy's and everybody's, I want you to take a breath and feel the energy they infused it with. This is also part of what we're doing around here. It's not your average publishing. I've asked them to take responsibility for their energy as they're creating for you. This is a big deal. And that's why I will continue to use the word magic for all of you. Okay, Gabrielle, same thing with your chapter. Like, I want to know what the most important thing is you want people to know about how to find the soul's voice on that page.
Thanks, Laura. Well, I know that coming to a blank page is honestly the most intimidating thing, to feel like put yourself in the seat of creator. So my way in is always to begin with gratitude. So whether you're writing by hand in a journal, you open a Google Doc, start by just simply listing 3 things and get really specific that you're grateful for in the moment. So I could be really thankful, for example, right now that my power came back on. We had a huge storm, and half an hour ago I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and realizing I always take technology for granted, but my computer, Zoom, all these things that allow us to get our voice out. So just beginning to tell you that, like, there's a whole story. There's a whole story about my morning and what happened. And so beginning with gratitude, and you can really, I like to encourage folks to make a list. And once you get in that process of making a list, you can do it with anything. You can make a list of 10 beautiful things you saw, 5 of your favorite books that changed your life, whatever it is. And once you've got a list, you've got words on papers, you'll take a deep breath, look it over, see where that energy is, and which one you might want to write about and explore some more. And end with gratitude. Close your writing time with a thank you to yourself for showing up.
I love that. There's no more powerful energy than gratitude to shift to in any moment. Love that. I love it. Love it. All right, Sarah, for you, what's the most important thing you want people to know about bringing color back into your voice and life?
I was walking through the local woods one day, and it was just like, actually, and I put my hand down and I invited my younger self to come and walk with me. And so I've shared an inner child walking meditation, because as I have worked with my younger self, with the traumas that she went through that left her feeling abandoned and rejected, unwanted, unloved, all because of circumstances, as she has felt loved, listened to, cared for, accepted, she feels comfortable, she feels relaxed, she feels empowered. And as she has felt that, so have I, and so has the color come back into my life with the experiences that I've had, and I've had some amazing experiences. But along with finding my voice, which has resulted in the vocal Reiki, using the toning, using the power, the energy of my voice in words, in writing, in light language, in channeling, in so many different ways. The voice I thought I'd lost is the voice that I have found because of the healing that I have brought to my little one. And just using a couple of words that I did use, the Visage song, Fade to Grey, that is how my life felt when, as a young child. My life has now moved way beyond that. And it is now about color and voice and energy and sound.
Beautiful. I love I love listening to you, and I'm getting the visuals of the rainbows. I love the rainbows. Yes, you guys, are you feeling the power in these chapters? I am. Um, let's let's wrap up today with this one last question for all of you. We're making an intimate connection between the expressive arts and stress relief. So, Gabrielle, what do you want people to know if they're struggling a bit? Maybe they're kind of in the stress place and there's a bit of a struggle going on. The world right now, holy cannoli, right? So, what would be like a first step you would offer them today?
Yeah, a first step is you don't have to hold it in. You don't have to be alone. And going to the page is something that doesn't cost you money. You can do it anywhere at any time. I have written prayers and poems and affirmations and all kind of things on receipts, on a piece of junk mail that comes. And once those words come, whether you see it as that conversation with the divine or just your inner spirit and wisdom, you really will feel, I think, an energy shift and a change. And we know how beneficial it is to release and not hold in.
Yep, you're giving me a funny visual of the junk mail that it's on my everywhere, different places in my kitchen or by my computer. I'm like, oh, there's a paper, let's go.
Yep.
Like, no excuses, you guys. You got paper all around you, right? I love that one. It's something I use as well. Sarah, I'm moving to you for this same thing. Our listeners might kind of be in a place of struggle with that stress. We're all at different sort of levels of this, depending on what's going on in our lives, compounded by world events and things. What's a place you want to start people?
With themselves. One of the things that I've found most powerful with the use of the toning is the use of my own name, and when I tone for other people, their name. Most of us have got so many people hate their name because of the way it's been used as a child. You're in trouble, you've got to do something, etc. But if you're just saying your name, or if you've got the courage to tone it, and you're just honoring yourself, you're accepting yourself, you're telling yourself that you're asking nothing of you, you're just saying, I see you, I hear you, I'm here for you. It is just about you, the whole of you, every aspect of you, so that you can let what's going on outside, which if you can't do anything about it, it's really important to let go of that worry. But it's about starting with yourself. And I actually tone my name for myself every day. I'm not suggesting something to people I don't do, because I make suggestions from what I do. And I do that. I'm one of these people who actually changed my name, so I use both. I know what my spiritual name is. I use that. I also had a nickname as a child, and I use that. So I'm honoring the whole of me. And if you're not comfortable with toning it, just gently speak to yourself in your own name and connect with that child and help him or her know that you are there for them.
I love that one, Sarah Jane. Gave me a moment of new awareness with how you said most people hate their name because of how it was used growing up. That's not the new idea, but the new aha about why there's a tension with name. Gosh, we should be in love with our own name, right? And if we're not, it's a daily, hourly, all day long type of energy. That's a big deal. That's a transformational idea. So you guys start giving it a try. I know that I'm gonna just riff on this one for a minute because it's been a thing with me. But you know, if you have to, then do it in the car. Like if you don't have the privacy and you're having the resistance because you don't want to be out loud in the room or wherever you are, you need to find a place where you feel safe enough to hum, to tone. And then I think name toning is another level, Sarah Jane. Like, yeah, I know, you know, I can feel it even in your talking about it. So this is cool stuff, you guys. Join me in your car. I'll be in mine, and we'll do some toning. I did some screaming the other day in my car. It was lovely. Loud music, screaming is also kind of therapeutic. That's another one we could talk about all day.
Can I just say, if you're going to do your name, do it in the syllables.
Yeah.
So for you, it would be Laura.
Yes.
If you've
Okay.
got sort of 3 syllables, do it as the syllables, especially if you're toning it. And the power of that. And people have actually come to me afterwards and said, I was uncomfortable with my name. I now like it. That
Yeah.
is the difference.
That's a big difference. Thank you for the tip, the syllables. Yes, that's perfect. As you were talking, I was like, how would I do that? So now you gave me the, now I know how to do that with the syllable. Beautiful. Thank you. Timothy, tell us a little bit about where you would start somebody who's in a bit of a stress struggle. Just want to give them a little first step.
As I'm listening to Sarah Jane, I'd say the first step is toning your name. You know, it's a mantra. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here listening to this and 44 years of doing spiritual teachings and practices, and I've never thought of toning my own name. And as she's saying that, it's like, okay, this is on my list. And it can be your mantra. It doesn't have to be Om. It doesn't have to be East Indian. It can be any word that you resonate with. And oh, what's better than saying, I love Timothy? I love Sarah Jane. I love Laura. And just repeating your own name as a mantra. And I realized too, as Sarah's doing that, like Timothy has the 369 poetic code is based on syllables. And so I'm sitting there as like, Timothy's got 3 syllables. My middle name's got 2 syllables, and my last name has 1. So there's 6. It's like, I'm just having fun with all of this stuff. So I would say just start, repeat, stay focused, repeat any name, Christ, Buddha, Allah, your own name. Because what you're doing is you're bringing love into your body, you're focusing your mind. And I just want to share with everybody, this is about relieving stress. I live in a state now. I mean, I was a military school kid, certified public accountant. I know what stress is like, dysfunctional family. I know stress. I also know now that I live in a state that stress cannot touch. I am vibrating as nothing but peace and love all of the time. And sometimes things interrupt that for a few moments or even a few minutes, but that's it. It's not like hours, days, weeks, like I lived my life before, months, years. So just start and keep it up. Just have faith. Pick any chapter in this book and you're going to get ideas that will literally transform your life.
Yes. I am going to repeat this line. We could all bring this in. I live in a state stress can't touch. Ooh, that is like Avengers superpowers. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, how beautiful. Timothy, Gabrielle, Sarah Jane, thank you so much for what you do in the world and for being here today to share it with everyone. You guys, if you haven't already got the gist of this, is way more than a book. This is a generous community of experts who really want to help. They're all hooked up down below in the show notes with their links and websites. So please go explore. You have a question, they are there to answer. If you want to carry on the conversation, we've had multiple today that could have gone on. Reach out and they'll help answer a question or carry on the conversation. If you need some support on the journey, we know it's sometimes the hardest thing to do is to reach out, but we have created a community where our hands are open, waiting. We're reaching to you, right? So come and explore what they're up to. Of course, we would love for you to hop over to Amazon today and grab Expressive Arts. Let us know how you love it. Its link is down below for that. Lastly, today, everyone, remember, your words will change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time. Thank you, authors.